Good morning and happy 4th of July. It's early. The sun hasn't broken over the top of the trees yet. I have Kate's swing set ready to take to her house today. The sunflowers are doing well. As you can see, the sun on the top of those trees over there. This has undoubtedly been the worst year of gardening that I've ever had. The perennial garden's doing well. These zinnias have come up every year since my son-in-law gave them to me 3 years ago. Our split leaf weeping maple has lost most of its deep red color. It'll come back in the fall. The vinca are coming back. Those were not planted here. They just come back year after year. And the Guarara is about ready to bloom. This was a Lowe's rescue last year. I'm about halfway finished on the restoration of the gazebo. That's a different video. The okra are doing well. I need about 3 more plants. 3 plants don't develop enough okra for a meal. So next year I'm going to plant about 3 more. The corn is finished, all but these last 3. I've already started some more corn up under the porch in some pots. I pull the corn up as it goes and chop it up and put it into the compost pile. We had a bad storm a couple weeks ago and the sunflowers broke down, and so I stuck them in here, and the finches have just been going crazy for them. The finches are in their yellow color right now, and just can't get enough of these. So I'm actually going to plant sunflowers here in my failed tomato bed. This tomato seems to be doing okay right now. I actually broke the top off and was pulling it up, but right there is where it broke, so I just left the bottom, and it seems to be coming back okay. I wanted to make sure I haven't sprayed any chemicals in this garden since the fiasco here with the nut grass, and so I bought a Parks Early Girl tomato at Walmart, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something in my soil. So she seems to be doing pretty good. I've only had 2 blooms on my lotus plant, so I'm thinking it might be overcrowded. I never did get around to cleaning out the bathtub this year before the toads laid their eggs, and so that's something I need to do in the fall or winter. I am really pleased with this lettuce. This is Pine Trees Seeds Plant Anytime lettuce, the lighter green here, and it is really doing well. It's been in the 90s for the last 3 weeks. And this is their slow to bolt red leaf. I forget the name of it right now. I think it's called Fire something. We've had several salads off of this and some wilted lettuce. Some of the carrots are starting to bolt, but this is just mainly for horse food and treats that when the grandchildren come out to give the horses, so that's not a big deal. I'll plant some more this fall. This is the failed onion bed. The onions did terrible this year. On the right here are the onions from last year, and on the left is what I harvested the other day. I went ahead and replanted the smallest bulbs so that we could have some fresh onion greens with our salads. And they'll be coming up here shortly. I've ever used bagged mulch in the garden too, and I'm not sure, it didn't say anything about it not being safe, but this time of year the crabgrass is just crazy to try to keep them under control. And this squash plant are exactly the same age, planted the same day, transplanted the same day. This is a squash called Cash Flow, and this one is a squash called Zephyr. I've never planted either one of them, but if I were relying on cash flow, not so much. The cucumbers are about done here, but we've harvested hundreds of them off of there, literally probably 70 or 80 at least. This is where the giant vine was. I have some squash plants up in the pots ready to transplant up here. I think the sunflowers with the crepe myrtle behind it there, and the sun just breaking over. Really pretty scene. Reason to be out here early in the morning. I've got 2 tomato plants here, 1 plum and 1 big boy or better boy that I planted up in the flower bed where it wasn't affected by the herbicide. They're doing well. Black-eyed Susans are coming out slowly, but in another couple of weeks this will be full of blooms. When I read the label on these balloon flowers, I thought they were more of a vine, but they look like they want to be upright. And so next year I'm probably going to try to support those somehow. The arrow is about faded. I'll about mid-July cut that all back and get another bloom in the fall. Our ever-bearing strawberries are really thick in here, and so are the weeds. Really hard to keep ahead of that. And in the hugelkultur bed, the beans are doing well. I'm not sure what scorched these beans. Several of them have scorch marks on them, and I don't know what caused that. But it happened while we were in Illinois for a week. Before I leave today, I want to talk just for a minute about the Farm Bulletin. It's put out by the Agriculture Department here in Georgia. Your state may have something similar. In the spring, it came out with the spring planting guide, and of course this last issue had the fall planting guide. Great information in there, and you can get anything you need for a homestead from that bulletin. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy gardening.